Good afternoon. I'm going to talk about a few details connected with the rewards and punishment syndrome. Global warming is an example of an organic consequence, that is feedback, which is disregarded by many of us as we continue taking planes and cars because of rewards. Some even deny the existence of global warming. The Pebble Beach project is it's in Alaska, and it is a clear example of where the immense rewards of gold, copper, and jobs for the less complex system blind some to the gigantic organic negative consequences which are likely to take place in the more complex system. So if you look that up and see what the Pebble Beach project is and the negative consequences that are likely to come from it if they go forward on it, I'm not sure if lately they have okayed it or not, but it's been in the works for years. I hope they never okay it. By rewards and punishments, I specifically mean only those happy or painful events which are consciously applied by human beings as consequences to encourage or discourage actions by other human beings. I don't mean all happy or painful events which may happen by chance or by conscious decisions which are not meant to encourage or discourage anything, only those that are meant for that purpose. These latter events, which just happen, are organic and intrinsic to the context they're found in. They might be good or bad, but they're not they are only considered rewards and punishments when they are connected or when they are meant to encourage or discourage another person to act a certain way. In regard to corporal punishment, there was a report on many studies, a study of studies, very inclusive of maybe almost all the studies that there have ever been about rewards and punishments. And I think the name of the author was Gersh. It was a woman author who did this a few years ago. She made a report on all the studies. And what she found from her big, huge study was that the desired results were not what actually resulted from the use of corporal punishment. This was in regard to long-term and short-term results, and it included both intended and unintended consequences. In both cases, results of the use of corporal punishment were not what those using it wanted. So, in other words, corporal punishment is out. It is not a good idea. Her first initial was E, and her last initial was G, which I think stood for Gersh. I'm sorry, I just don't remember the name of the author of that report. In her definitive study of studies on corporate punishment, says, quote, corporate punishment puts children at risk for both short-term and long-term negative effects. Corporate punishment is no more effective than other techniques. There was a book written about Tolstoy. It's called Tolstoy as Teacher, and it was written by Bob Blaisdell. on page 94, or wait, I'm not sure what page. Anyway, Tolstoy discussed ignorance as a cause of criminal activity with one of his students. And I would say this makes sense because of the high number of mentally challenged people on death row because of their behavior. So that is an indication that there is a connection between ignorance and criminal activity, serious criminal activity. In other words, many people probably don't have the information in their brains to be able to think ahead of time, if I do that, what's going to happen? Could something bad happen? A lot of people will just act without even thinking because they have not been taught very well. Our school system isn't doing such a good job. And our school system, to a great extent, has reward and punishment as part of it. When things get out of control, they go into rewards and punishments as their solution, so-called solution. But this causes more ignorance, I believe. I believe especially punishment, which is rewards are like a reverse punishment. They amount to punishment for those who are not rewarded. And that is, I believe, it inhibits learning. So that, to me, would explain why the ignorance. Because of the use of rewards and punishment, we have ignorance. Leo Tolstoy believed education should be conducted, and by the way, he wrote War and Peace. So he is a literary leader from the 1800s. He believed education should be conducted freely in non-compulsory conditions. It has everything to do with relationships, according to him. So the relationship between the teacher and the student is very important for good learning to take place. And punishment does not make for good relationships. It does not make for trust by the students of the teachers. They will not confide in the teachers, and we need confidence in a good relationship. Because the reason they don't confide in the teachers is they're afraid they will be punished. It's just logical. So I guess that's the end of that for today. And I hope to see you, or I hope you see me, the next time on the next time I have this next week. Thank you.